I'm angry because I had to cancel my haircut appointment, and I was like happy that this was going to be the fresh cut, and this is
I
the
didn't want
longest
to
my
say
hair.
yesterday, but I was looking at you like you need a haircut.
This is the longest my hair has been in years.
I hate this for you.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Young Millennials Podcast. I'm Billy.
I'm Lex, and today we have an interesting topic. It's going to be a fun one. It's always a fun one here. We're talking about our social lives, or our non-existent social lives, rather.
Right.
But before we get into that, Billy's a little heated right now. He needs to blow some steam
I'm
off.
a little just frazzled. I feel like every time we're setting up, like, the world just doesn't want this to be a thing, and we're not stopping, so the
No.
world needs to, like, stop.
Chill the fuck out.
Yeah, chill. But I have my happy face on now. We got a new setup if you're watching this visually.
Yes,
because
Billy's
I
got
didn't
his
look
little
at myself.
his collage wall going on.
Yeah,
That wall just sums up how gay you are.
I'm obsessed.
It's
Can you
honestly,
see my alien?
it's amazing. I see it all.
That's my favorite one. That's why. And I got Nikki on the titties.
Love it. How much was that shirt? $100?
45.
The nerve of these concert t-shirts.
I know. As if the tickets weren't over $700.
Literally. And that shirt was probably $350 to make.
I know.
Scam.
Yeah.
Scam.
Mm-hmm. But
Anything else you need to catch me up on?
No, just excited to get like the good feedback, and this is the first time that we're recording since like posting, so that's like
Is it
cool
really?
new. Yeah.
Oh, I guess
Yeah, I
because we
believe
had a
so.
few of them waiting in the wings.
We batched a few.
Sneaky.
Anyways, how are you doing?
Oh,
What's the
it's been a
tea?
wild weekend for me. Let me just start off. So I went to my martial arts class earlier. I got punched in the
Slay.
face for the first time. It was like an accident, but it's a very humbling moment, and I will not ever not have my hands up in front of my beautiful face. I took a
Are you covering it up anywhere, or are you good?
no, I
I mean,
mean,
like,
like
did
we're
you
wearing like
any
gloves and
markings?
stuff, and like thank God
Oh,
this
okay.
man. Also, he was a man, like a 60-year-old man. He called me slacking. It's my own fault. It was very humbling, and I was just like, but he was like, "Are you good?" And I was like, "I'm fine. Don't worry about it." And inside, I'm like, "Oh my God, my face." But
Oh my god, no.
no, it was like, it kind of got me a little heated. I was like, "Oh, you want some of this, old man?" And like, I just came at him like punch. It was fun. I love it.
Wow. Were there more people here was
No, it
just-
was just me and another guy this time. I guess because it's summer, it hasn't really been too crowded. People have better things to do, I guess. But also, like Monday, 12 o'clock, who else is free besides me and a 60-year-old man? So,
True. And me.
and Billy. But, so that was this morning. That was like shooketh. But anyway, this weekend has been wild for me. Speaking of, social life, my social life has spiked this weekend. I went out Friday. I told you that already. I went out Friday, stayed out a little too late, paid for it Saturday. Oh, I don't know how. Like, I woke up Saturday morning after staying out late, and I was like, I can't even imagine if I was hungover on top of being exhausted. I don't know how I did it. Ever.
Honestly, I've been living vicariously through you though, and I'm loving this for you because things have been going
I'm
on.
glad. I'm glad
Yeah.
someone's loving it. No, I mean, I'm loving it too. But this is just like a new territory for me, especially like going out and doing things like not drinking. But I've kind of got past that. So yeah, Saturday I went to Maroon 5 concert, which is like, I told you that too. But it was amazing. Adam Levine is sexy as fuck. He was like taking his
yeah.
shirt off, and I'm like screaming as if I'm not a lesbian. I'm like, woohoo! He's
Oh
oh,
my
so
God.
talented. Also, who knew there was 6 people in Maroon 5? That's a
What?
story. That's a story. I was like, wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6? But then I looked back on their old album covers because obviously I went back and I listened to Maroon 5 for the past 2 days after the concert. And there
And
used
was
to
it
only
always
be
6?
5.
I
So
was
they
gonna
added
say
someone on.
maybe Maroon 5 is like the 5 people around him, but I guess not.
No, it used to just be 5 people. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive. But that was amazing. And then yesterday, Sunday, I was just drained. I was a gremlin. I just napped pretty much all day. I couldn't do much. I don't know how I'm going to kick up my social life again because it took me out. And that was just 2 days.
This is why I hate that we live in 2 different states, because like I would be doing all these things with you.
I would be
Instead,
dragging you
I just-
along. You would be one of those
Ins-
friends because, like, I know you don't do anything. No offense, but like, I'd be like, Bill, I'm
I
picking you
feel
up.
that
Let's
way.
go.
Yeah.
Everyone needs one of those
'Cause,
friends.
I mean, I just been like basically chilling. I mean, chilling and editing, but you know, I need to do a little. Oh well, I went to Miami, but that's very rare. But
Well,
you know.
maybe you can do that more. You have to just like throw yourself into these situations. And then once you're there, it's like, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah, no, totally. And like I do like hanging at Susan's place. Like it's not like we're out in like the craziness. But
Shout out Susan.
shout out to
Sue in Miami.
our guest coming soon.
Coming soon. She was banging on our door. Let me be on the podcast.
We got a lot of bangs on our door.
So many people want to be on the podcast and we're flattered, but
Some
like
good,
give us
some
a second
bad.
to get going, people. We got to get the snowball building.
We're finding our footing, our placements.
Exactly.
and,
So everyone needs to hold their freaking horses. And when the time is right, all are welcome on the Young Millennials Podcast. As long as you're not a hater.
No.
Wink, wink. Anyway, so let's just get into it. Social life. We're already talking, you know, I don't want to say you don't have much of a social life, but you don't really do too much.
It's hard making friends as an adult, especially like moving to a whole new area. And when I first moved, I came to help open our pizzeria. So that was like a family owned thing on top of it. So like usually like you'd meet like your work friends, but
it was just
I
your
was
family.
the boss. It was the family and I was the boss. So like, and like it was like a weird dynamic kind of thing. Not just me as the boss, but like I don't know, everyone was just like younger and it just wasn't the vibe. And yeah, I mean it's hard making friends as adults.
It really is. And that's part of the reason why I started doing martial arts and putting myself in situations where I can potentially meet friends, because it's freaking hard. Like I go to work and luckily I do have coworkers, but a lot of them are married, they have kids. I can't just hit them up and be like, hey girl, let's go hang out. It's like, well, I need a babysitter, I need to do this. So that's a headache and a half. I don't even bother. So I've been doing activities to desperately try and make friends.
I forgot the parts to mention where I actually like not having friends. I do love being on my own, but it would be nice here and there, you know.
I'm kind of torn in between the two because I've learned, because I don't want to say no friends. I have friends, but I don't have many people that are close to me. So because of that, I've learned to enjoy my own company where, you know, I go on vacations alone. I'll go to the movies alone. I'm always doing things by myself. And I'm almost getting too comfortable doing that, where I don't go out of my way to invite a friend to do these things. And now I'm kind of working backwards where it's like, okay, I need to start asking people to hang out and I have to stop hanging out alone. Because I
just don't want to make friends. I just want to hang out with you. And I can't.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately, that's not the easiest, but I'm going to take a trip down there. I can come whenever you want. You just say the word. But yeah, it's been tough, but I think when you just keep putting yourself in good situations, and you have to be mindful of where you're going to potentially meet people. So when I went out on Friday night, I went to Paradise Island, and the range there was like 25 to like 65-year-old people, and everyone was wasted. And I'm standing there sipping on my water, and I'm like, none of these people are appealing to me. Like, I'm judging also, but if you're getting wasted on a Friday night, like, is that the kind of person I really want to be friends with? So again, that's why I started doing things like martial arts, because if you're at martial arts with me at 7:30 on a Thursday, you got to have a decent head on your shoulders and care about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, no one is going to match my freak.
I'm crying. Match my freak of sitting home and editing.
Like, I'm just like, if I go anywhere, like, I already know, like, I'm not gonna, like, catch a vibe. Like, I wish I could say that I'm surprised with your story, but
It's also hard because people are so standoffish and closed off, where I can go and talk to anyone. I'm a very social person in that aspect. Like, I can really make a conversation with anyone. I'll find some common ground and I'll talk to you about it. But if you approach someone, they already come off like, ooh, like, what do you want from me? Everyone feels like they have like an ulterior motive. You can never just organically go up to someone and be like, hey, what's up? I feel like everyone's standoffish, especially in New York. Forget it. And everyone's kind of set in their ways.
yes.
I don't know. I went out. I had fun with my friends.
But I will say, like, I'm, again, very happy that you did go, because I guess it's okay to, like, just not have the best time, too.
No, and
You're
listen,
like,
I'm glad I did, too. I definitely am, especially now, like, single gal, need my friends. The friends are important.
so happy how you're keeping it going and, like, keeping your mind busy.
And you have to, because, like, if
Doing
I'm
your
sitting
thing.
home, I'm just a sad girl. Sad girl. Not really, though.
Streamline
I'm never,
away.
like, down that bad. Like, I have my
Crying at the
moments.
gym.
Everyone has their moments, but trust me, sweetheart, it ain't never that bad. I don't allow myself to get that sad about anything. If I find myself feeling like shit, instead of just rotting on the couch and sulking and being depressed, I kind of just like, hey, snap out of this, get up, go outside, just change the scenery, look at the freaking sun, go step in some grass, and you'd be surprised what just changing your scenery will do for your mental and getting some fresh air. It's when you're locked in the dark hole of your house is when you're going to be even more depressed. So I also understand that going out with friends, in the long run, it helps me feel better. And I appreciate them. Shout out to my 4 friends. But then it's funny because my sister Amanda, she's like, you have so many friends. I'm like, girl, where? Where are the friends? Are they in the room with us? Because I can count on less than 2 hands how many actual friends I have.
I mean, I'm just, like, always on my creator grind. I kind of feel like I have to, like, stay focused, and the play will come as, like, I just get more established.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just not my first priority, but to go back to, like, another episode ago, like, with the balancing, and I gotta start introducing that back into my life, because we only live fucking once.
Exactly. You have to kind of
So-
force yourself. And like I said, once you're in it, you're like, oh, this really isn't that bad. Or on the contrary, you can go out and be like, this is fucking miserable. I wish I was home. Which I also went out last
Just so
Wednesday
bad.
and it was miserable. It was miserable.
I hated again that was miserable for you, because, like,
It was also 100 degrees outside.
and you also did, like, go, like, back and forth.
No one ever wants to listen to me when I suggest plans. And I've gotten to the point in my life where I'm like, whatever, you tell me, I'll be there. I'm not fighting with you. You're lucky I'm here, so let me know where we're going. We could have been having a picnic. We didn't have to go out, surround ourselves with all these shitty people in 100 degrees weather, in the beating
This is why
sun.
we're perfect for each other, because I don't think people want to go on a fucking picnic. I want to, but, like,
You
I
don't know
can't
how many
find
times I've
anyone that
asked
does.
friends, like, hey, you want to go on a hot girl walk? No one ever wants to. I'm like, why? We can
I would
gossip,
walk
we
with you
chit chat,
every day.
we walk, we're getting sexy.
Mhm.
What's the problem with that? No one wants to hot girl walk with me.
It sucks that we didn't become friends until after I left.
I know, but you know what? I appreciate you more now as a friend because the fact that you live where you live and we've become so close is just a true testament to how strong our friendship is.
Yeah, true. It is kind of crazy that all of those years that I lived there, like, I could have had someone interested in, like, the things that
I also
into,
feel
and
like
vice
me as a
versa.
person, and your sister Danielle told me this too, it takes a while for people to warm up to me. People aren't really sure what to make of me when they first meet me. And I'm working on that, like trying to present myself in a more welcoming light. But back when you kind of first knew me and met me, I came on very strong. I was crackhead all the time, bouncing off the walls. My life was a train wreck.
We
And
discussed
if
this-
I met me, I'd be like, whoa, this girl needs to friggin' chill out. So
we discussed this in our unaired episode, but I didn't think you liked me, and I was like, what is wrong with this
that's
girl?
another thing. People always think I'm like grilling them, like resting bitch face. And I'm like, that's just my face, unfortunately. I can't help that. But I have been literally walking around with a smile on my face. Like if I go on my hot girl walks alone, I'm like, intentionally smiling to make myself look welcoming because I know how much of a bitch I can look like. And that's not going to help me make any friends if I'm walking around with a stank face on. So I just look like a crazy person smiling on my walk. When we were out the other day, I asked my friend, I was standing there. I'm sorry for everyone who's listening and can't see this, but I was standing there, drink in hand, like this, arms crossed. And I know arms crossed is not a good body language. It's closing yourself off. So I had my hand in my pocket. And I said to my friend, I was like, does this make me look unwelcoming? She goes, take your hand out. Let me see. And I took my hand out. And she's like, oh, leave the hand out. You can't put the hand in the pocket. When you're like closing yourself off body language wise, you don't realize, but it makes you look unapproachable. So and now I'm like standing here, like posing with my drink, hand out of the pocket, smiling like a freaking crazy person. Yeah. Open chest, you know, confident. You don't want to be like slouchy gremlin vibes. So that's something, as Billy sits up in his chair, that's something that I've been working on, and I'd like to think it's helping, but at the same time, no one has approached me. So what the fuck? But then I've
never been approached in my life.
My new mantra, and y'all can laugh at me, but I'm into like the Delulu thinking. People are looking at me and they're grilling at me. And normally I'd be like, oh, why is that bitch looking at me? And now I'm like, you know what? If you're looking at me, you must think I'm sexy. You think I'm sexy. That's all. So, and it also helps my confidence. I'm like, wow, everyone must think I'm so sexy because everyone's fucking grilling me. But then no one approaches me. So, I don't know. I can't win.
Yeah, I've never been approached really either.
It's funny because when I was like in my trashy drunk girl days, people would approach me left and right and tell me all the time, oh my God, you're so hot. You're this, you're that. Where is that now? We need that energy now.
Are we
Nowhere to be
just
found.
like old and washed up now?
Don't say that. It's funny because I want to make myself look younger. And have you seen the thing where you can tell how old someone is by the socks they're wearing?
Yeah.
Because us millennials wear the no-show socks. So the other day when I went out, I texted my friend. I was like, I'm going to wear a crew sock. Billy's doing the splits to show you his socks. I was like, I'm going to wear my crew socks. And my friend was like, yeah, crew socks? Is that a vibe? And I was like, trust me, it's going to make me look younger. So I'm standing there. This was Wednesday when I went out during the day. Standing there, just looking at everyone. And then I look down at my feet and I'm like, these socks do make me look younger as I got my Nike crew socks on. It's so crazy, but it really makes you look younger.
You have to, I guess, as a millennial, get used to it because, like, there's plenty of times where I took the long socks and put the no-shows on, and now knowing that, I'm like, wow.
Mortified.
I think it's very cool.
It's a look. It's definitely a look sometimes. The only thing I'm not going to love is when I develop a crew sock tan line because that's hideous.
Shaking.
No. But that's why we get spray tan. No tan lines over here. I'm due for a spray tan. I got one spray tan last year for vacation. I was going to Jamaica in December, and I was like, Mom, I'm getting a spray tan. I'm not going to be the whitest bitch on the beach. I was so bronzed and beautiful. Everyone was like, where did you go? And I'm like, a spray tan. I just felt like a bad
I
bitch
never
with a
got
spray tan. Well, you're also 7 shades darker than me.
Right.
My spray tan is Billy's base color.
Right.
I'm a white girl. Ugh, hate my genetics. So, Billy had brought to my attention that he wants to talk about something and he can't bring it up on his own. So, we're going to put all of our attention on Billy and he's going to talk about his social anxiety. Yay! Woohoo!
Yeah, I probably could have maybe even fronted with this, but I'm losing you.
Oh no, what do you mean?
Of course I froze right when I was getting into it. Okay. So yeah, I probably could have started with this more so, but I guess the number one reason to perhaps I am the way that I am is I wouldn't say severe social anxiety anymore. Or maybe I do. I don't know. I like honestly.
We haven't really tested it out.
Like,
you haven't gone out to experience that.
Yeah. And I do actually think like creating content and even like doing this, for example, like I wouldn't do this. So like it is kind of growth. Did you see a ghost?
No, I heard something and it kind of spooked me a little. But I think we're fine. No, we're fine. Sorry.
No, yeah. But I do think like I'm in a better place now. Like honestly, like I feel like there was a time when I wouldn't be able to do a podcast, especially with someone. Like with my content, it's always only been me. So I get to like hide, I guess, in a way. And I think it was beneficial, but also maybe it hurt me because it like holds me back from having to go and put myself out there, because truly this is like where I release my like social battery. Like I feel my connection with like my audience. So like I always kind of had the slayers to like kind of lean on. And as someone that like I do have a bunch of friends, they're just not here with me. It's just kind of been like.
But I'm gonna cut you off. So you mentioned how you kind of like leaned on your content, and I'm just immediately thinking about like your vlogs and stuff when you used to literally go out in public and like record yourself. I could never do that. I still struggle with that. So like that's more power to you.
I wouldn't say that I record myself in public. I feel like
I just think of the video of you in Publix stalking the hot guy.
Well, I was very low key, and that was actually TikTok live.
Was it just live? It still was recording yourself in public.
I know. I mean, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, But
I can't get past that. Even though everyone does it now, that's something my social anxiety says, no, girl, you're not going to pull out your phone and start recording yourself in front of all these people. I can't do it.
I don't know how like the pros do it. Like usually I'm like filming in my car and then I'll leave and then come back and pick up.
I mean, I guess it's easy when you know you're making thousands of dollars from doing it.
Yeah, totally.
So
actually, that's 100% it, because if someone has something to say, you have the best rebuttal.
There you go.
You know,
I'm making bank from this. That's something that I've definitely struggled with. So I give you a lot of credit. Even just vlogging by yourself, I struggled to do that. Making my content for my Instagram and my business. At work, I just have a glass door, and I didn't put like a curtain or anything up. So I would set up my camera and people would walk by and look at me, and I would get so freaked out and like cut the camera. But then I realized, I'm like, you know what? Who cares? That's my new mantra. Who cares? And if you're worrying about me and what I'm doing, that says more about you than me. So we're working on it. Social anxiety is definitely a real thing.
Do you have a social anxiety spectrum, or?
I think I used to, and it kind of flared up when I stopped
Were you shy
drinking.
as a kid, or no?
I was always the kid. It's like I never would go up to you. I would never introduce myself. I was always making jokes in the back of class, and people kind of just gravitated towards me because I was, class clown vibes. But I always kept to myself. And quite honestly, my job requires you talking to people. And if it wasn't for my job of being a barber, I would not have the social skills I have today. Because I realized really early on in my career, it is way more awkward for you to sit there and cut someone's hair and not say anything than to try to force a conversation and just start talking. And it really is a skill, and that helped me a lot. But the social anxiety thing definitely kicked up when I stopped drinking and I stopped having alcohol to lean on as like, you know, the let me have a few drinks and I'll loosen up. That was definitely a learning curve, and I've gotten better now because the turning point for me was when I realized, you know what? Everyone that's out right now is wasted. They're not going to realize what I'm doing or remember what I'm doing. So it's given me more confidence to kind of just like be a free spirit when I'm out, you know? But the social anxiety thing is not really my issue anymore.
That's amazing. Being like sober and out, I feel like it's just an interesting dichotomy because like I actually feel like I would do better if I was sober out than like being like high before going out, and then I have
the high is like a different type of feeling than alcohol, you know.
True,
because high can give you anxiety on its own. Weed can do that. I
just don't really have an alcohol like I guess experience then, I guess, for me. But I mean, drinking definitely is better for anxiety, like to like
for sure
like make you more.
But then you have one too many and you're starting fights with people and you're crying and you're sloppy. And no one wants that. And then the social anxiety for me would come after the fact when I would go back and look at videos or people would tell me stories. Lex, you did this. Oh my God, do you remember that? And I'm mortified, like, oh my God, what do you mean? So hangxiety, that's a real thing.
I couldn't think of the word, yeah.
Hangxiety, the hangover anxiety. It really, the alcohol makes you feel like on edge. It's a real thing. And one of my favorite things about going out and not drinking is going to the bar, driving myself there. First of all, driving myself, not having to worry about, you know, who's Ubering or whatever.
That's
driving myself to the bar.
One.
Oh, it is such a good feeling to know that I can just dip out whenever I want.
At any time.
Oh, it's really a relief. So that's taken a little bit of the social anxiety away. And then driving to the bar knowing I'm going to wake up tomorrow and not feel like shit. I'm going to be perfectly fine. And I'm going to get hydrated because I down the waters at the bar. And it's nice now because I was drinking a water with a lemon in it and you can't tell if that's water or, you know, vodka club or whatever it is. So no one even realizes you're drinking water. And that's a big like mental block too. When I would first started going out and drinking water, I'd be like, oh my God, everyone knows I'm just drinking water. I'm a loser.
That's so interesting because, like, I wouldn't care.
And like, you shouldn't. I don't care, but people are weird. Alcoholics are weird. If you're not being an alcoholic with them, they get offended.
Maybe it's kind of installed maybe a little bit more in your ideal because you did have your crazy party girl era, so maybe it was very, like, different. But, I mean, what are people gonna say? Like, you know?
It's definitely died out now, but when I first stopped drinking, people don't take you seriously. And they still want you to have a drink with them. And I never understood it because it's not like I ever acted differently. Maybe I wasn't as sloppy, but I was still fun. I'm still dancing when I go out. Like, I'm not standing there, arms crossed in the corner. I'm twirling around, dancing, and I'm having a good time. Nothing about me has changed. But I think it's more of a testament of how they feel internally about themselves rather than me not drinking. Absolutely. Anything that goes on around me, I'm like, that's a you problem. That ain't a me problem.
To kind of backtrack something to my severe social anxiety, I think I realized that I do have severe social anxiety because, like, the fact that you said becoming a barber, like, made you, like, talk and stuff like that, or, like, become better with communicating and all that, where I can't even make it to that point.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a skill. Like communicating with people, especially strangers, is quite literally a skill that you need to develop. When I first started cutting hair, I was not very good at it. I was very awkward. I was very timid. But like I said, I realized very early on, okay, it's better if you just talk. My biggest thing about communicating with someone you don't know, pick up anything that you could, like snap judgment, anything you see about them. Maybe they're wearing a Yankee hat. I mean, not that you're a sporty guy, but if a client came in and he's wearing a baseball cap, like, oh, so do you like sports? That's something I know about. And a big thing that helped me is being well-versed in many different topics. So if you tell me, no, I don't like sports, but I like XYZ, chances are I can talk a little bit about that topic. It's about having the confidence to know whatever they like, you like too.
You want to hear a horrifying story?
Oh no, I guess so.
And my brain just like shuts off. Like I just flashed back to this date I went on like probably like 3 years ago now. He actually was sober. Oh my God, whatever. So he was like, do you want a drink? And I said no. And then I was just kind of awkwardly bobbing, like not knowing what to say. I was like, actually, I'm going to get a drink. So, but the whole point was so I could think about what to say when coming back. I had no idea what to say. Just something in me where like the brain, it doesn't compute.
Well, that's a part of the anxiety. Like you get disconnected, and that's kind of all you can focus on is the fact that you're anxious right now. Everything else is on the back burner.
Yeah. And like he, long story short, ended up like ghosting. So then I just have that in my mind, and then it's like, I can't ever do this again, you know?
Oh, I get it, but first of all, if you ghost people, you're a loser. Grow up, be a man, be a woman. If you're not into someone, be like, hey, listen, we had a fun time, or maybe we didn't. I'm not into this. I straight up told the girl, this was years and years and years ago. I didn't even know we were going on a date, actually. And it was the longest and like low-key worst date of my life that I didn't even know was a date. And at the end, she goes, she actually texted me. She's like, oh, you know, before I even got home, I left her 5 minutes text from her. She goes, I would really love to go on a nature walk with you. And in my mind, I was like, I can never see this girl again. I texted her back instead of ghosting her. I said, hey, listen, I'm just really busy for the next 6 months, and I'm not going to have the time to do that. That's all you have to do. Like, just literally to say anything. Let them know that you're not going to be seeing them. You're not interested. But people are little bitches. I hate to say it, but it comes down to that. And ghosting is a whole nother topic. Write this down. We're going to have a whole episode on ghosting.
Ghosting
Billy,
episode.
Unfortunately, you know that all too well.
I resurrect ghosts out here. So.
No, we respect the dead. I got that from you. We respect the dead.
Yes, we really have to. Yeah, that'll actually be the name of the episode.
God bless.
But yeah, there's
we're gonna work on your social anxiety. We're gonna work on it.
There's a lot of trauma that needs to be broken through.
Absolutely.
And to even go even further back and maybe to get a little like deeper, and I probably don't even want to go here right now. But like,
you can always cut it out. Sorry, but if it gets cut out, it gets cut out.
Yeah, I mean, to going back like in school and stuff, like I was told let me just say it, let me just be real. I was told at a young age that I had a learning disability. It turned out I have dyslexia, and I feel like it's like a weird thing where it's like good that I knew that I was told that I was different, because like then I knew like there wasn't exactly something wrong with me.
Yeah.
But at the other end of it, it's like I feel like I honestly maybe wish I didn't know that young, because I think it like tainted me.
Restricts you a little bit mentally.
Yeah. So like that I really think was the true cause that manifested into like my personality, and like being a kid told that, like, and not even really being explained exactly like what that means. So I just made up what that means in my own brain.
Yeah.
So like I think that's really where it like stems from. And Yeah,
But you know
I
what?
don't really.
I've realized now a lot of people are, I guess you can call it like neurodivergent, you know?
Mhm.
So
Which
it's way
perhaps
more
maybe me, I
accepting
don't know.
now.
That's
It's
another thing. Like,
accepted.
it wasn't not that I'm not that I didn't like feel accepted or not accepted then, but it just definitely wasn't what it is now either.
No, not at all. Like,
But
do you remember back in like 2008 or whatever when everyone found out that Nick Jonas had diabetes and everyone was
oh
like
my,
wearing bracelets for him because they thought diabetes was like the end of the world, and like diabetes is a, you know, a serious thing, but it's by no means a life ender. And we just didn't know. We didn't have the
shout out
knowledge.
Ozempic.
Oh my God. Even though the actual diabetics can't get Ozempic, stop taking it from them. But
My mother.
we're just shots fired. We're just more
No,
aware
my
of
mom
these
like
things
actually
now.
needs it.
Oh, okay. She's not hogging
Yeah.
it from the rest of them.
No, like she has diabetes and couldn't get it.
Yeah,
because everyone's
that's
trying to
my
lose weight.
sister too. Yeah.
So rude.
But yeah, we're just more aware of these things. And back, you know, early 2000s when we were kids, that was, you know, a label that you got, and it was Billy is dyslexic. So Billy is different, and we have to treat Billy differently. And I love that now it's not limiting, and it's kind of just what you have hardwired in your brain that you have to kind of break out of that. Because everyone's different. I joke, and it's like half a joke. I could also say this because, actually, I don't know if I want to say this because I don't want to get canceled. You can cut this out. But I always
You're not
say
gonna get
everyone's a
canceled, but
little
okay.
autistic. I think everyone is on the neurodivergent scale. And it's okay. It's okay to not be like everyone else. It's okay to have your brain work a little different.
I
And
just took an autism test last week.
I
And
definitely
I got
think I
a
am.
pretty high
Like when
number.
you see these things on TikTok and it's like, if you have hyperfixations and this and that, and I'm like, oh. Also, my brother is autistic, and I definitely think it could be a genetic thing. Like if he's
Yeah.
autistic, I probably got a little bit of the leftovers.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, it's definitely in my family. My dad was, like, not the best student, so it definitely is that. But, like, everyone also deals with it differently. People
Absolutely.
could power through it and act like there's nothing wrong with me, or people will make themselves smaller.
Yeah. Some people like make it their whole personality. And I definitely have ADHD, and I can be medicated, but part of me is like, I don't want to be. I want to handle this on my own. And it's a strength. At the same time, it's also a weakness. But I'm learning to work with it. And I think that's just what it comes down to, like not letting things define you and put you in a box. And I guess that also just, that's all I've ever known. Like me being gay from a very young age. I knew I was gay when I was like 7 years old. I remember first grade, first day of first grade, I saw a girl in my class and I thought she was cute. I thought she was pretty. And I always dressed like a little boy. I always dressed different. And people would make fun of me, but it never really got to me. I was kind of just like, y'all don't understand the drip. My 5th grade yearbook quote, ready for this?
Oh my
I
God,
don't
so
think I'm
ready.
cool. I know I'm cool. I was light years ahead of these people, and they just didn't understand. So I think just from a young age, I never categorized myself as anything. And I think that's also helped me kind of just be true to who I am. I've also never had like labels stamped on me, because you could not define what I was. I was an anomaly of a person. I still am. I'm a very different kind of person. One day I'm like
Same.
full face beat. Next day I'm like, you know, doing martial arts and
Fresh
playing
face.
softball and wearing man clothes. So
Yeah, I feel like that will have to go into a whole like other episode even with that. But I
absolutely.
mean, me also knowing that I'm gay as a little kid and I sounded like a girl, so I wanted to keep my mouth closed. And I had a lot of like drama things. Like I could remember a little baby like saying to me, "You sound like a girl." And remember the next time I saw her, I was like, and she said it
What's
again,
up?
and my world was over.
Yeah. I kind of just like
So-
rolled with those punches. I would have people come up to me in middle school and be like, "Are you a boy or a girl?" And I'm like, "You're a fucking idiot if you think I'm a boy." Because I never looked like a boy. I dressed like one, but I never looked like one. My face was always a little feminine. I was always a pretty girl. So they just didn't respect the drip. And it's so funny. And I guess we can wrap it up after this. But
Yeah.
the people in my early adolescent years, the ones who made fun of me, they're the ones who I've run into now when I go out to the bar, even on social media. They're like, "Oh, Lex, you look like you're doing great. You're doing big things." I'm like, "Yeah, bitch, I know. You just finally are realizing that." And when people are bullies to you and mean to you, that says more about them than it does for me.
Mhm.
And that's all I'm going to say. I don't know how this ties into social anxiety, but I guess everything's intertwined.
It does. It really does. I mean, there's so much effects to it that you wouldn't expect.
Absolutely.
I'm sure like a lot of people can relate in all their own ways.
Mm-hmm. I guess I never let those things get to me. Whereas some people like you said that girl, what she said about you, that affected you. I was kind of just like, whatever, you're an idiot.
I wish.
We're going to work on it.
But,
this is Billy's
yeah,
therapy. We all know that. This is Billy's therapy.
again,
We're going to
like-
work through the trauma. We're going to get through this. I'm going to take a trip down to SoFlo and we're going to get you out. We're going to make you talk to strangers. We're going to fix you.
And then
Not
we're
that you
gonna
need
come back
fixing.
to you guys. Yes. We're just enhancing ourselves every day.
We're growing.
Growing.
We're growing. All right. Let's bring this bitch home. Let's wrap her up.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this week's episode of the Young Millennials Podcast. Make sure you follow us on all of our social platforms, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Billy's Instagram, my Instagram. Make sure you're leaving us a rating. I know Billy's going to say a 5-star rating, but quite honestly, I don't like asking for 5 stars because I want you to give us what you feel like. We would prefer 5 stars. Don't give us 1 star. How about this? If you don't want to rate us 5 stars, don't rate us at all. But I'm not going to ask you for a 5-star rating. That's like desperate.
I'm going to ask you.
It's giving desperate,
5-star
Billy.
that bitch. Be a 5-star bitch or get the out of here.
Yes, that's fine. 5 stars or keep walking.